Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for your episode of All You Can Eat Chelsea. As you can tell, I'm in a bit of a different location today. That's right, I'm back in Ireland. My setup is not quite set up, but we're almost back. You know what I mean? At least I can do a functioning working. Yeah. At least I can do a functioning working stream, but in terms of the background, it's a little bit plain. So bear with me. We'll have to get that all sorted for the next show. But listen. Younes, brother, welcome back. How are you feeling today?
I'm good, man. Hello, yes, guys, welcome back. And yeah, this is going to be a very interesting one, isn't it? I'm feeling good. It's hot over here. Life is nice, and we've got tons to discuss and tons to get over.
A lot to discuss.
Tons.
It's a madness.
Yeah.
Wow, Miz, bro, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Talk to me. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, bro. I had no idea you were in Ireland, man.
I only just left yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So even you probably didn't know you were in Ireland. I didn't
even realize. When I woke up, I was like, oh, yeah.
Nah, man, all going good, man. Preseason is upon us. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to a lot of things. But before anything, I was having my dinner and I was checking out the latest vlog from the Big Six. You guys did some mad things over there, man. Honestly, I'm so proud. Every time I see that, I'm going, man, that's my boy right there, man. I'm so proud of it. Honestly, you guys, Fox 5, the entire thing, man. I hope you guys go a long, long way, man. This Big Six is going to be a massive thing for you and your career. So, yeah,
thank you, man. Yeah, I was trying to, you know, when they tell you to turn the Wi-Fi off your phone on Ryanair, I was like, nah, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm watching this vlog. If we crash, we crash. But nah, literally, it's mad, man. Watching it back, I was just like, wow, that was really us. You know, when you're doing that kind of stuff, I'm sure you guys have done things before. You're like, you react to it maybe a few days later, like, did that really happen? Was that really me doing that? So yeah, it's kind of incredible, but you know, it's surreal, but yeah, it's
just a start as well.
Yeah, hopefully, exactly.
There'll come a time you'll look back at that and go, oh yeah, that was peanuts.
That was minor. Yeah, do you know what though? There's so many things still to do in this space, and it's like it's good that it's not all done so in a rush. It's nice to spread it out. I think it makes you kind of appreciate a lot more when you're not just doing everything at once. So, but speaking of doing everything at once, Chelsea, these guys, Ziyech, the deal seems to be back on. Pulisic, if it's not confirmed already, is looking like it's about to be done as well. So many outgoings. I have to keep saying fair play, because on the 7th of July, it could have been so different. It could have been so different. We're also, I know you guys, when you did your videos on the stake, I don't know where I was at that point. Probably not even in this world. I might have been doing gummy bears. I don't know. I didn't get a video out on that one, but I know that they've kind of had a big pushback on the stake. I think the Chelsea Supporters Club have got involved.
Yeah, that's paused. It's paused now. Yeah,
it seems like they're walking away from that. Well,
yeah.
There's speculation about Nintendo. I don't think we're going to see that on our kit. Funnily enough, I just have a feeling that's too good to be true. But if we did have Nintendo across the middle of our kit, I think every single person out there that has any allegiance, forget supports, any sort of allegiance or bias towards the club, will bring that kit home with them, no problem. That would be insane. But we have to start with the goodbyes, I guess. And I did a breakdown of I don't know how you guys approached it actually with Poch's first interview. I didn't get to see that, but I decided to be incredibly shameless, and I literally watched it live on a stream, and I decided to break it down bit by bit. Every single word he said, I almost had to keep pausing it to let the people know just exactly how great this guy was. But with Aspilicueta, I haven't actually watched it with you guys. I haven't watched it with the viewers, and maybe this is bad of me, but I'm just gonna see if I can get a tier or two out of you guys or the audience, because this is, I don't think anybody's. I mean, obviously John Terry did his goodbye on the pitch when he left. I can't remember Frank Lampard's one, to be honest. If he went to,
he never gave one. No,
he never really gave one, did he? No, so it's actually quite rare that you get you manage to get a situation where one of your legends actually gets to say goodbye properly. Drogba was obviously carried off the pitch. which was crazy.
Well,
But
Drogba had 2, innit? He scored the penalty, and then that was the goodbye.
yeah, exactly. And then he came back
and then got carried
came
off.
back.
Yeah,
came back, won the Prem, and then said goodbye again.
yeah.
But this is the beginning of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is honestly one of I saw grown.
What's the highlight reel? Yeah, yeah.
I saw grown ass people on the timeline who are usually like really like unmoved and unfazed by everything, and they just don't show much emotion to anything happening at the moment. They were bawling their eyes out. Every single emoji was just tears flowing. So let's just watch it now. This deserves its own moment in the stream. Mad. I don't think people realize what a legend of the Premier League this is as well.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. This guy, I think this is just his highlights. This is just how many videos has he put out?
That's just
I ain't even
that's
see
just his
I haven't
highlights.
even seen-
You
I
got
haven't even-
tons. You got
oh my god.
If you're on Chelsea's
There's a
page, not on
6-minute
Aspie's
one.
page,
Yeah.
on Chelsea's
Okay,
page, it's
I've
6
seen
minutes
that.
long.
Aspie's put out bare content. Aspie putting out more content than me. Yo, Aspie put out like 5 pieces
Yeah,
of content.
the main one is a 6-minute one.
What?
I think it's probably best you watch the entire thing like on your own, or because you need to soak that in. You need to really.
Aspie, yeah,
deep.
I've actually seen it, but Aspie putting out a bit. I didn't even realize. I watched the 6-minute one. I didn't realize he put out that clip as well, and he's put out a letter. I swear as well.
Yeah,
Yep,
and the
he put
letter
out a letter.
was
A long
just
one.
as emotional as well, man. Like
Yep.
he's put some real hard work and effort and thought behind all of this. I'm sure he's got a team that helps him out doing all of it, but you can see how genuine he was. Like, how can you not be genuine, man, when you've been in the club for like 11 years? Like, being genuine should just come automatically, and that's exactly what he just put out there, which was great to see, man. Great, brilliant to see.
Yeah, I think for me, Aspie goes down as one of our best. I think he's got to go in the top tier.
100%.
I know a lot of people are very
for
hesitant
sure.
to put players in the Lampard, Terry, Cech, Ashley Cole, whatever it is category, Drogba, but I think Aspie has to go straight in there, along with obviously Eden Hazard as well. I think players like that, they get in that tier for me. If they can't get into that tier, then whoever will get into that tier? Do you know what I mean? You have to make it a thing that's actually possible. And I think Azpilicueta to win every single trophy and obviously be captain for the massive one at the end. Thinking of the fact that when he started talking about that interview, he was like, I came in when we had just won the Champions League, and it wasn't until right towards the end of his stint, his long stint, that he then managed to do it himself with the armband. So just incredible. But also, obviously, we know there's been some bad buyers. Now that we've had a couple of days to kind of let it all simmer, how does everybody feel about Mason Mount leaving the football club now? Is it, especially with the way it's been done? Because let's be honest, the club, who are basically, the admin is employed by Todd Bowie. In case people didn't know, you're getting paid by Todd Bowie. Yeah, you are getting almost controlled by Todd Bowie, the admin.
Yeah.
So you need to fix up, but he only got one tweet, and it was literally, there's no heart emoji there. Like, I pick up on these things from these social media accounts because everything is done deliberately. Havertz got like three goodbye messages, loads of, and we had to tell him to stop. Like, yo, that's enough. That's enough now. He's going to Arsenal. It's not that deep. Like, don't, just because he scored that goal, don't think that this is some sort of Drogba that we're letting go of here. Like, it's not the same. So just chill with the posts. When it came to when it came to Mount, it was just one post, and I was actually shocked. I was like, come on now, that's a bit harsh. Sure, come on. I know it didn't end well.
I'm pretty sure they
Jesus
probably deleted
Christ.
that post as well. You know how you go back later and you
Yeah,
delete
yeah.
that post?
I think, and then their excuse will be like, yeah, we've moved to Threads now. Sorry. Like, honestly, I actually thought that was quite harsh, but obviously he didn't get the same backing in terms of he wasn't able to go to the club and do it at the stadium with Aspie and whatnot. But yeah, I remember watching his, and we watched it here on Battle North, and I remember feeling very empty. I was like, I am ready to be rivals now. Like, this didn't hit. This didn't touch me, unfortunately. What did you take away from it, Younes?
Look, this is the thing. This is what I said. When it came to him having to say goodbye and all of that, we all knew that the relationship between him and the club had broken. Right, so I'm not expecting much from his end towards the club or from the club towards him. And as you said, right, for those that were having a go at the Chelsea admin, he's employed by the club, so he's going to do what the club want him to post, right? So there's that. You can't expect much, and we knew we'd get something. And to be fair, he got his little caption of the boy that had a dream and like, you know, all the other captions of the other players that leave. And that was basically it. But on Mount side, I feel like what I was expecting was, yeah, maybe an acknowledgement to his time at Chelsea and to thank the club for what they facilitated for him in order for him to be the player that he's become. But the goodbye, I was expecting mainly towards the fan base and the people that weren't involved in negotiations and the breaking down and all of that and the craziness we've seen over the last few months. But the fact that he got a video ready weeks prior, when nowadays let's have it right. It's not hard, right, to get yourself a video done in 60 seconds nowadays, is it? It's not like before where you had to get someone with a camera to come over, film it, get it all set up, and then store it in the archives ready to be released sometime. That's not the case now. You want to do a video, you can do it in 2 minutes. So the fact that he pre-recorded that and got it all set up weeks prior is where it doesn't sit right with me in terms of it's not genuine. It doesn't feel sincere. And like we saw from Aspie, like we've seen from Ruben Neves going to Saudi from Wolves, like we even saw from the Chelsea women's captain, Magda Eriksson, who was bawling her eyes out because she's leaving after 6 years. Just let, as Miz said off air, let it come out the heart. You should have tons. Miz was spot on here before we came on. He was saying, you've been at the club for 18 years. You should have tons and tons and tons of memories from when you were 6 till now. Just flashing back, flashback. Absolutely spot on. It should be piece of cake. Or if it's too difficult, right? And again, I'm giving credit to Miz because he said this, right? It's all you and I agree. If it's too difficult to say anything, say it. Say, look, this is too hard for me to do. I can't. You can even do a video of going, I'm really sorry, I can't go into detail. I'm not going to do it because it hurts. You best believe everyone would appreciate that. And everyone would just cry at that.
Do you know what, Younes?
And say goodbye your own way.
Everyone would understand it. That
everyone would get it.
I get you can't say goodbye to your proper Chels. Like, I get it. Your property, you can't say bye because it will forever be with you. But man, he goes, when I'm just playing it back in my mind now, he goes, I didn't want to have a scripted written statement or something like that. But man, you're reading off a script.
do you know what as well though? Like, do you know what? When people talk about online, when you look at like what someone like Marcus Alonso used to get online, he used to get pelted online, absolutely pelted. But if you remember his statement, it was kind of like, "I will always run down the wing for you."
Nice.
That hit me. And sometimes you just got to be a bit clever with your words because it's all endorphins. But
100.
Marcus Alonso, I don't know how this man managed to hit me. I don't know if you guys in the chat ever remember his statement. Marcus Alonso, I wanted him out of this football club for years. He was one of those players that just used to jar the crap out of me with his kind of the way that he kind of operated defensively and the way that he kind of operated in possession. Goals, no problem. Back posts, little finishes, no problem. But the way he managed to put that together was incredible. I just think, yes, people could talk about online. But let's not forget in person, which is what you're coming across on a daily basis. You should be anyway, right? Nothing but love. I'm seeing out there, you know, there's nothing but love. You're seeing a banner the size of an entire stand for you. I thought that would have got a mention as well. I was quite after all of that effort that people went to almost, let's be honest, push him up the list for that banner, because people are now looking back and thinking, oh, it should have been Kante, it should have been this, it should have been that. Yeah. I don't think Aspilicueta ever got a banner that size.
No, I think Aspi got one. I think Aspi got one.
Not that size.
I'm pretty sure Aspi got one. Aspi got one. Yeah. I remember him getting one. I don't know about that size, but he got one. I remember he got one.
Brother, that banner was massive, bro.
It was huge.
That banner was huge.
It took up the entire shedding.
Bro, it took up the whole damn shedding. I was like, I'm shocked that there was no reference to that. So in terms of just, you had a lot to dig into the archives. But now that it's all said and done and that's over, I'm definitely ready to be rivals now. You know, I'm very good now.
Do you know what, Matisse? You said that you watched the Pochettino press conference as well live through your stream, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember Poch? As soon as they were doing the background shot and then the interview started, the interviewer was asking him, are you ready? Like, do you want to prepare? Do you want to let you know what I'm going to ask you? And Poch just goes, no. Let's go. Like, I know what I got to say.
Surprise me.
And right at that point, I was like, do you know what? I like that charisma. This is the charisma that I'm waiting for, because
confidence.
It's confidence. It's he knows what's there to prepare. I'm at Chelsea Football Club. I know what this football club's all about. I know what I need to do. Let's go. Let's begin. I'm ready to tell you exactly what needs to happen at Chelsea Football Club. I don't need a script. If I needed a script, then I'm not the manager. I need to be gone. Sack me now if I need a script. Do you know what I mean? So
100%.
The fact that Poch understands, I don't need a script to be a Chelsea manager. I know what this club needs. And Mount, like, there was so much that has gone wrong for Mason Mount over the past 18 months or so. This was your one chance to just make something right and leave the scene with an everlasting memory. And you screwed that up too. How'd you do that, my man? That's poor. That is poor. So, yeah, like, I don't think anyone, like, obviously the hardcore fans will still remember him and this, that, the other. Like, for me, I don't know about you guys, like, he'll slowly fade away. Like, I will not think about him very soon.
He goes into the cult hero maybe category at best, but he's definitely not going to go into the legend category. I think if he goes on to do serious damage at Manchester United, I think then it will be tough to put him in any category by the end of that career, because he'll be, if he wins Premier Leagues with them and things like that, I won't really want to look at him as a Chelsea player too much, to be honest. So it depends on what he does at Man United, but it's not as clear cut as people will think in terms of, oh yeah, he's definitely just you know, a cult hero or a legend, and that's that. It's going to Man United. That's a big. I think when we play Man United, people will be like, oh, okay. Same with Kai Havertz. When we play Arsenal, you know, it will be like, oh, okay, he's really over there, and we really go into war against these guys for these 3 points, and that's when it will really sink in.
But you know what? I think against Arsenal with Kai Havertz, I think the reception will just be flat. So say when Arsenal come to the Bridge, I don't think there's going to be much of a reaction. Like
who cares about booing him? Yeah, Younes, who cares?
No one's going to bother. When we play, and to be honest, there's no reason to really boo Kai Havertz. And to be fair, look, if you're talking about cult heroes, probably Kai Havertz is one scoring that goal,
winner,
right?
Yeah.
Some would say, Mount provided the assist for that. You know, at the end of the day, I honestly think that's been tarnished in terms of Mount's reputation now because of all of this. The reaction that Kai Havertz will get when we play Arsenal, as I said, will be flat. When we play United at the Bridge,
it'll be heavy. That will be heavy.
Man, wait.
Oh, us three, all of us will be booing.
We've got some brilliant face-offs this season. Tottenham as well with Poch, just going to be brilliant.
It's going to be magnificent.
It's gonna be fantastic. I think the way that, obviously, when it was first come out that he was linked with us, there was a lot of pushback and a lot of people were like, not sure about this. He's, he used to manage Tottenham, but I kept saying the fact that he used to manage Tottenham is only giving me more ammunition as to why I want him, because now we have the opportunity. He didn't achieve anything significant in terms of winning at Tottenham that's carved into the history. So we still have time to turn him into a Chelsea man. That's what I was trying to articulate. It was like, yes, he's done a great job at Tottenham. He's done as much as you can do at Tottenham, because you can't win there, because it's literally impossible. I don't know why, serial winners have gone in there and not won, but he's done as much as he can do. He's taken them as far as he can take them. But with us, this is a clean, fresh canvas. We got a young team, lots of potential in there, and you have the opportunity to come in here and to win trophies and to, calling us the greatest club in England of the last 10, 15 years, it's not a bad way to start. I'm not going to lie.
It's not a
bad way to start. So I think he got it all absolutely spot on. He really did. To a T, everything he said. I didn't get the end part when he was talking about skin and he was talking about touch and I don't know where he was going.
Oh no, I got that. That resonated with me hard. Because he was talking about using tech and the way that football's evolving, and I honestly think he was talking more towards the data side of football nowadays.
Okay.
And, the fine detail. And when he goes back and says, but we've got to remember in terms of why we fell in love with the sport in the first place, where we came from, and the human aspect, which is, and obviously from I'm guessing from his culture, from his, you get certain gestures that foreign managers can make that you like, what does that quite mean? And then he mentions, in terms of the senses, being able to use your eyes, your ears, your touch, your skin. No data can measure that. Like, that's a human aspect that you must always hold on to, and don't let that get robbed away from you, because that's important. And I fully agree. Data is important, but never forget the human side.
Two things that that resonated with me was, one, he kept on saying, you got to win. I'm at this club to win. None of this process. We're in a project, a lot of young players. He didn't sugarcoat, and he didn't try to, create a bit of a dish which is bad to eat. He put that out there straight up that I'm here to win, and this is what we got to do. We cannot have. I think he even mentioned Chelsea cannot have the ups and the downs that we just, like he said, we cannot. Chelsea cannot have those downs. It's simple as that. So that really stuck out to me. And the second thing that really stuck out to me was when he said, "We don't need followers. We need leaders. I need leaders in every single aspect. So none of these poster boys, none of these, proper Chels and the media loves this particular character. No, we need leaders." And I love that. And this is what I want to see from Pochettino in his stint for however long. I hope he stays as long as possible, and of course be as successful as possible. But I want to see him create leaders for us. I would love to think one day that, Aspie is not the only one. You think about someone like Aspie, who's been around at our football club for 11 years. I'd love to think that he's not going to be the only one. That hopefully there is maybe an Enzo that can stay here for a long time. Maybe an Nkunku that can stay here for a long time, and so on and so forth. And then we can rejoice their career down the track. So all of that happens by building leaders. So I hope he can build leaders, man.
Yeah, 100%. We desperately need some, especially after. We're looking at currently who's going to be the next captain, and it's it's Thiago that's been brought up as a name. It's James that's been brought up as a name. There's surprisingly Sterling as well on that list, which I wasn't expecting.
I think it's for the experience. I'm not really too surprised about Sterling.
Is it kind of like when Kante got the armband?
It's experience.
It's experience.
Purely experience.
Yeah.
Who would you guys, isn't it? At the moment, I guess preference for you guys, who would it be to get the armband?
Silva for me. Thiago Silva is the most obvious one. He's the leader there. Is not only in terms of experience, but he's damn good. He's
Yeah.
damn good. He's a role model to the young players. We've got a lot of young players. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Thiago Silva. I think he will maintain that harmony, and he'll know exactly how to drive that dressing room. But we do need to, whilst he's leading, and I don't know how many more years he's going to stick around at Chelsea Football Club. I know his son apparently has signed a 2-year contract, so he was saying that he would like to keep staying at Chelsea because his son's in the academy. So, but we do need to prepare the next one. But the upcoming season, Thiago Silva for sure.
Yeah, and I think then Reece James obviously second, and James is absolutely critically clear. Obviously, people are talking about Enzo. I don't know what his English is.
Don't disregard Enzo Matisse. I think Enzo mad shout to be the captain of Chelsea Football Club.
A lot of praise from Lampard this season for Enzo in terms of his leadership and building the midfield around him a little bit. So, kind of. Yeah, interesting to see where he could go if he picks up the language really well. Reece James, I think critically important, he just stays fit. You know, if you're going to be vice or whatever you're given, third, you know, he needs to stay fit this season. And I'm hoping with this new medical team that it's possible that he can stay fit. I was shocked when I seen that, as I didn't know. First of all, I couldn't remember that Jesus Perez was on Twitter, the assistant coach to Poch. And then when I seen he followed me, I was like, oh, shit, I might have a way in here.
Oh, did he?
Oh, wow, he followed you.
No
That's
way.
mad.
He already followed me before, I think. But the funny thing is, I don't know why he's I didn't. So first of all, I'm following him, obviously. And I don't know why I was following him, because I was searching him. I thought, to my knowledge, for the first time, I was like, why would I be following Jesus Perez before him coming to Chelsea, like him being the assistant at PSG, him being the assistant at Tottenham? Like, what's that got to do with me? So I don't know how I actually ended up following this guy before, but when I see him on there, I was like, okay, cool, this is good. But Pochettino's on Instagram as well. His statement was really nice on there, which I didn't pick up on my stream, but that was a really good caption from him. And obviously Sebastian Pochettino's on there as well, his brother. So we actually have quite a few.
It's his son. It's his son.
Yeah. So we have quite a few links there. Now, let's, as a fan base, not break those. Do not abuse the coaches online. I know it doesn't need to be said to you guys, but I'm just going to say it regardless. Do not abuse the coaches online. If we lose a game, do not be those fans that go into the comments of the coaches and the manager and give them shit in their comments. I have to say it because I feel like there's always two out there that seem to not know that, and they go and do it regardless next season. Okay, shouldn't be doing it to anyone really at the club. No players. There's nothing that you're going to get out of that. I know that you think you're trying to help, or you're trying to express your passion or your emotion or your demand for a win. You're not doing anything that's helpful in that regard. Say it on your own spaces for sure, but going into their comments next season, I hope that there is no toxic atmosphere anywhere to be found. This season there was, obviously, because of the performance, but also the tribalism. There's no Jorginho now. There's no Mason Mount. Declan Rice didn't sign. Felix didn't stay. Can we please now, as a fan base,
it's mad, isn't it?
stop the tribalism? We don't have. It's almost like
there's no one to be tribal about.
It's almost
like
they'll
find someone though. They will find someone.
Todd saw all of the players that people, really, really are torn about and create this divide, and he just said, sell them all. Get rid of them all. And don't bring any of them in. There's no Declan Rice, there's no Mason Mount, there's no João Felix, and there's no Jorginho. If we don't see that as an opportunity as a fan base to, just be a little bit more, a little bit more united and a little bit less polarizing in terms of the players, then I don't know if there's any hope for us. So, but let's talk about Caicedo, because this deal, I don't know if it's ever going to come to fruition publicly that we go for this player. Obviously, Brighton seem to be wanting now 100 million. I personally think 100 million is a downright robbery, and I know Miz is not a fan of this Brighton bullying session that is almost starting to come up. But now this is a long shot, but if Mbappe is absolutely going to Real Madrid, and listen, PSG keeps saying, and this is what's giving me a bit of hope, PSG keeps saying you either sign the contract or you have to leave. Now,
Where are you going with this?
Let me land. I'm
land.
cooking. I know right now it looks a little bit all over the place. The food is kind of all over the place, but I'm cooking it. And when I get to the ending of the cooking, you're gonna be like, okay, this is actually a wonderful meal. Right now, I'm still chopping onions. Right, Mbappe.
Chop away.
If PSG apps, because right now, as much as PSG and their president want to make their statements and they want to talk, they are in no control over Mbappe's situation. Mbappe holds all the keys. He holds all of the cards. He is running the show over there. They are just trying to stand strong as a unit, as an entity, to try and look like they have control. They have no control. If Mbappe doesn't want to leave, contractually, he's not going anywhere. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, if Mbappe is to definitely leave and to definitely walk earlier than he expected, it has to be to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have to come with the money. And it sounds like, according to the journalist, that PSG are going to set a price on Mbappe soon if he doesn't sign, which he's not going to. So I don't know why they haven't said it already. And Real Madrid are the number one option in terms of they're the club that he wants to go to. And they obviously do need a striker. They walked away from Kai Havertz. And they need a forward. So that could lead to, in terms of FFP, they would need to sell. Now, there's a couple midfielders extra in that kind of midfield category. You're looking at Toni Kroos, they've still got him. They've got Modric. Neither of them are going, right? They've got Camavinga. They've got Bellingham now. So they've got quite a few midfielders for 3 positions. Obviously, they've got Tchouaméni and they've got Valverde. Now, that's 6 players. They've still got Ceballos as well, if they wanted to make him the 7th. So there's maybe room for 1 sale. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't mind a little bit of Tchouaméni propaganda right now. I have been wanting this player for years.
Oh, the meal is so good. It's tasty, man.
When he was at Monaco, I was begging Marino to bring this player in. And if there is a smidge, if there is a small, and to be honest, I've been pushing this down. I've been saying he's not available, he's not going anywhere, and there's just no point talking about it. But if they really feel like they have to get Mbappe, they have to sell someone for FFP. And that's where one of those midfielders, maybe I've heard Valverde before actually linked with Chelsea, but I would love Tchouaméni personally.
Do they actually have to sell? I don't know.
If they're going to get Mbappe, yeah, they do. They do need to sell.
What happened to the Galacticos when they had Figo, they had Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, they had Zidane. FFP probably wasn't there back then.
Yeah.
Did they have FFP back then?
Nah, FFP didn't exist.
No, they didn't. No.
Yeah, so it maybe now. But it's very strange to think that Real Madrid would sell a Galactico type of a player, which is Tchouaméni, to make room for Mbappe. You'd think they'd get in Mbappe and keep all of those players as well. Look, I don't want to. I see what you're doing, Matisse, and I like it a lot. Someone in my live stream actually said earlier on today that is, what would you rather take if it was between 80 million for Tchouaméni and 100 million for Caicedo? That was such a good question. I said, look, I think you can safely say the better all-round footballer is Tchouaméni. Of course, with Caicedo, he's got that couple of seasons in the Premier League, and he's a top Premier League player. But 100 million, it probably doesn't make sense as much as Tchouaméni at 80 million. So, I don't want to get too ahead of this situation, Jeremy. It seems a bit all mad.
Yeah, it's mad. Listen, it was just a report that came out last night, early morning, that Real Madrid will sell either Valverde or Tchouaméni for 80 million euros to 100 million euros in order to invest hugely in Mbappe. I think Mbappe you'd expect to cost a minimum of 150 million. That's what they were willing to pay, I think, last summer as well.
Have we thought about the possibility that even Real Madrid could say, we don't want to buy Mbappe, we'll just wait till next season? They could. And if they...
And it depends if no one comes in for him, then yeah, that's a possibility.
But I don't think Mbappe wants to go anywhere else.
When you look at Real Madrid's attack right now, it's Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Joselu.
It's not very inspiring, is it?
No. No. So it's not. Listen, Barcelona just won La Liga, and they didn't win Champions League last year, and it's Ancelotti's last season. So some people are saying it's not true, it's fake. Listen, let me be deluded for a second, okay? All right, just you guys
Let
just
the man be.
everybody in the live chat is like just with this pin, and I'm trying to operate in this bubble right now where I get Tchouaméni, and you guys just like this. Boop, 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 boop. Guys, listen, I'm not even. I don't care if it's from the marker right now, okay? The fact that it even was written is enough for me. Okay, I have wanted when I saw Tchouaméni go to Real Madrid, I said he's going to be there his whole career, and he may still. But this is a chance for me to pretend like it's possible, and I'm going to do that. So bear with me. But yeah, I think listen, they need they need somebody up front. They need a forward. They need somebody to help Vinicius and Rodrigo. There's no way they're going into next campaign with their current attack. If they go into next campaign with their current attack, then even though they've signed Bellingham, it's very, very difficult to see how they're gonna do the damage that they're looking to do on all fronts. So I don't know. I know they've just made another sign as well, the Turkish playmaker from Fenerbahce. Yeah, Gulak. But again, I don't think he's meant to be an instant starter. He's obviously still young. So
so you were cooking. You're topping the onions.
I was.
Right? Done all of that, and you've served your dish, and it looks fantastic. Yeah, looks amazing.
Tchouaméni and Enzo together in midfield.
Like the dish is beautifully presented. You could get Gordon Ramsay to go, wow, what a meal. But I found a hair.
Oh no!
I found a hair on the plate.
Oh no!
So
what's the hair? What's the hair?
The hair is that I genuinely think I had someone put a comment because I was thinking on the same wavelength. Someone put a comment and tried to break down Real Madrid's finances, and I was like, "Whoa, fair play," because it actually all made sense. And it actually came to say that the conclusion was Real Madrid are not actually in a bad financial situation. They can afford to get Mbappe and not have to sell.
180 million, 50 million, they can buy him.
Bro, you know how much they're the richest club. Like they make a lot of money, man. These guys make a lot of money. You don't understand. That's what was like a bit. I don't think they would sell.
But on top of that, with this whole Caicedo thing, I think it's a red herring. Calma.
Yeah,
we will get Caicedo, and we will get him for less than 100. I honestly think we'll come to a deal of 85 million, and it'll be announced soon.
Yeah,
Caicedo will be at Chelsea, man.
Younes, someone said in my comments as well that, and it all kind of makes sense. Caicedo wanted to leave in January, if you guys remember. He wanted to go to Arsenal Football Club, right? He wanted to leave in January. There was a public statement. He even said, look, thank you, Brighton, for giving me the opportunity to break through in the Premier League, but I'm also giving you the opportunity to make a hell of a lot of money out of me, like potentially a club record, that level of fee. Back then, Arsenal were, I think we're opting to do something around 70 million. I think Brighton won in excess of 80. I think this person who commented in my video said there was some sort of an agreement, maybe a gentleman's agreement. And I know gentleman's agreement can only go that far. We saw what happened with Harry Kane. But there might have been an agreement between, and sort of not officially in a contract or anything, but unofficially between Caicedo, club, De Zerbi, that we will let you go in the summer window, and we'll potentially let you go for about 80, 85 million. So all of this stuff about 100 million, and I understand the benchmark, bloody Arsenal, they created a benchmark now with Declan Rice. But let's be honest, you paid over. You paid over the market value. As simple as that. You paid for the hype, you paid for the English tax. In essence, Declan Rice should have been about 80 million. He should have been. So I think fair price for Caicedo is about 80, 85 million.
Even also, like, Rice has been here for many seasons. He's been doing it at that level.
Correct.
For many seasons.
For 4 or 5 seasons, right?
He's the captain as well. Like, Caicedo just arrived at Brighton last summer. They bought him for how much?
No, two seasons. I think he's been around now.
Has he been there for 2 seasons? Sorry, 2 seasons. Are you sure it's 2 seasons? I thought he signed. Let me see.
Nah, so last season and the season before. Last season wasn't his first season.
Yeah, he's right.
He was there the season before that.
Yeah, he signed in February the 2nd, 21. So he's actually season and a half, it seems.
Season and a half. There you go.
Yeah, he signed last January, I think.
They signed him for about 6 million or 5 million or something like that, less than 10.
Peanuts.
Brighton, there has to be you have a limit, brother. Like, I get it. It's a business. I understand. You want to maximize your profit. I get it. But You're
Don't get
going
greedy.
from you're going from 6 or whatever the case is to 85. Like, I can't even do the maths as to how much percentage that is.
A million.
That's mad percentage.
So it's quite a lot of profit, isn't it? You think that'd be enough, but no. But then it's funny because they have the cheek to come to us with Levi Colwell and say, oh, 30 million, 35 million. No, how about 80 million? How about that?
Yeah. Brighton think we're still operating under Graham Potter vibes. Like, nah. We
so cheeky.
Respectfully,
it's insane how cheeky
on.
it is. It's mad.
Respectfully.
It's mad how cheeky they are. But okay, so my dream is dead, it seems, because
Matisse, good one, but
not happening. You forgot to bring the lamb sauce, as the chat was saying.
Unless Fabrizio says that there is a good chance a midfielder is leaving Real Madrid to make room for Mbappe. If I'm Real Madrid, I'm not willing to budge on what PSG are going to slap a really good fee. They're going to slap in excess of 120, 150 million, something like that, right? So Mbappe is one of the biggest names out there, along with Haaland. So if I'm Real Madrid, I'll take this player for free next season. He only coming to us anyway. You're not going to nowhere else. So I'm waiting.
It's funny. Real Madrid hold all the cards.
Yeah.
PSG, as the later the window goes on, PSG going to bring their fee down and down and down and down. Because literally, if you do not sell him this summer, he's leaving on a free. He'll sign a pre-agreement in January and he'll leave. You will let the most expensive, marketable name in football, the FIFA cover footballer, leave on a free. I mean, that is the ultimate slap in the face. So Real Madrid literally just get to sit there and be like,
yeah,
we'll wait. PSG initially could set the price at 180. All right, we're not going to bid that. So you can stay there with your 180.
No. apparently the price isn't even that much of an issue. It's about who's going to pay out the last year of his contract is the problem. Because PSG are like, we're selling the player. You do it. And Real Madrid are like, we don't have to. You do it. But if they were to pay like 200 mil and PSG have to pay the last year of his contract out, they're basically nearly letting him go for free. So PSG don't want to do it. Real Madrid don't want to do it. Who's going to do it?
Is this the issue, Younes? Because Mbappe doesn't want to leave. That's why they have to pay off that.
Doesn't want to. Yes, he's like, I'll stay for the last year of my
he's playing it. He's playing it good. So he's like, I didn't put a transfer request or anything like that. I'm sticking to my contract.
Mbappe,
so if you are looking to sell me, you pay off that 1 year of contract that's remaining. That's smart from Mbappe. It really is smart.
And PSG have come out public. Nasser Al-Khelaifi came out and said, we're not letting him go for free. And he apparently disappointed that Mbappe came out and spoke public and all of that. But we're not stupid to just let him go for free. We won't. He's the best footballer in the world. And he was honest about that and fair play. But goes to show, who's going to win these bragging rights? Don't know. Unless they come to a compromise. If they can go 50-50 or I don't know. But we'll see what happens.
Someone's saying that they'll have to pay a sign-on fee. Obviously, anytime you sign a player on a free, you have to pay a sign-on fee. My point is when I say they're free, I'm saying that there was no transfer fee involved. It's a free transfer in terms of you're not paying anybody, you're not paying any club any money. But someone in the chat saying it's going to be 150 million sign-on fee. I mean, that would be. Is that even really
possible?
Is that possible?
that would still be cheaper. You know why? Because then you're paying signing on. You're
paying signing ons anyway. Exactly.
Anyway, because right now what's happening is you're gonna have to pay Real Madrid because he's a Real Madrid player, and then you're gonna also have to pay Mbappe and his agents and all of that.
Yeah.
But this way, if he does go on a free, you don't have to pay Real Madrid, so you're saving over there. So.
Do you have to pay PSG? Yeah. Wow.
Sorry, PSG.
You know what? This is. I don't think there's ever been more money involved in a transfer than this one. This is like there's money everywhere in this one. Signing on fees, transfer fees, his wages. His wages are stupid. His wages are nuts. Like never has there been this much money involved in one transaction in a footballer to go to another club ever.
But you know what, Matisse? As soon as he lands to Real Madrid and it's here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all Real Madrid fans are buying his
Every single one of them. They're gonna buy multiple, not just one, multiple kits.
100%. For them, this is a business transaction.
I might get one.
I might actually get one as well. I don't know, man. I might actually have one. I'm not even gonna lie. So yeah, man. Like for them, yeah. So what? 150, 180 million. They know over the next 5-6 year contract, they're gonna clean up. They're gonna clean up with Mbappe. So, and all the different stadiums that are going to be full. You wait till the preseason tours with Real Madrid. Every stadium will be full. The media work with Mbappe. Look, forget it. It's long.
People are saying Neymar. Neymar is definitely up there. What was he? 222, 220 something million.
Yeah, his fee was mad.
His fee was actually nuts.
Or was it? Yeah.
I forget about his fee quite a lot because I know Mbappe was 180 million euros from Monaco. I forget PSG. How did they do that? You'd think FFP would have come in there. It's crazy, but yeah, 222 million. I don't know what his signing on was, and even Neymar's wages. I'm not even sure if they're still the same as what they were before as well. But yeah, that was actually a mega transfer. 222 million euros. It wasn't pounds. It was euros. Insane fee. I think though. I mean, shirt sales Neymar is actually ridiculous as well at PSG, but Mbappe at Real Madrid is going to be mad as well. Especially if I don't know what Vinicius just went to number 7. So what would Mbappe be getting? What would Mbappe actually shirt be getting?
He'll get the 9, surely.
He'll get the 9.
Probably get a 9, isn't it?
He'll get the 9.
Mad.
For sure, it'd have to be the 9.
Unbelievable. Listen, we've got our own little Galactico link ourselves, and to be honest, I don't know how you guys feel about this one because it is quite a weird link to Dybala. Because first of all, he's not under the age of 23. So that's already, for me, a shock. The fact that this player is not under the age of 23, 24, and we're interested, I find that crazy. Like, we're never interested in elder players. So this is quite a shock. I'm going to run a poll of who would actually take Dybala to come in at Chelsea as the next player. But I mean, Younes, what do you make of Dybala? Because listen, it's a talented player, very injury prone though, injury prone. But also he's so cheap that it's got to a point where it's almost like you're not even paying.
This is the thing. This is why I would do it. It's a low risk, high reward deal, because at the end of the day you get. And it depends on, well, it doesn't depend on Roma or even Jose because it's a release clause. Yeah. So if we were to trigger it for that much, which would equate, I think, to about £10 million, mate, peanuts in today's market, 10 million to try Dybala, who could explode and become prime Dybala. That would be outrageous. Or he gets injured. And yeah, we've lost 10 mil. Fine. We've got players talking about teams talking about 200 mil and whatnot, throwing out the window for one geezer. Well, we'll throw 10 million out the window, not a problem. It's fine. So at the end of the day,
that money just would have went to a Brazilian kid anyway.
There we are.
And Younes, we got 5 million in add-ons with Kovacic, and we know Man City are winning everything. So that's 5 million confirmed for us.
There we are. Boom. So we're technically getting him for 5. So now look, I honestly think, and Poch apparently really wants him. So again, if there's a plan, if there's a method to the madness, I'm on board. Dybala, I don't think would be a guy unless if he were to come to Chelsea and somehow not get injured, if our medical team would be the first time in history to work miracles and do things correctly, then that would be incredible. But if he were to get injured, it'd be expected. It wouldn't be a thing of, oh my God, he's injured again. It'd just be like, oh yeah, Dybala, he's injured again. Fine. I honestly think if he doesn't get injured, though, he'd be used as someone that would be fairly rotational.
Yeah.
Not a backup, because I think Dybala would be involved, but not starting every single game, every single week, because that load would be too much on him. So the expectation would be high, but I think the talent is there and the quality is high enough to know that he would provide us with a gem or two here and there. And I think we would take that. For 10 million, we would absolutely take that. Realistically, look, with Dybala, he knows where the goal is. His talent itself, it speaks for itself, but it's just his injuries. If his body can keep up, it'd be a great signing.
Yeah. I mean, Miz, what do you make of this one? Because for me, I am actually warming up to the idea just purely because it's so it's so low risk, high reward in terms of the price. And
Mm.
if this is the type, again, it's the type of attacker. We've been linked with like attackers that I'm kind of scared of, like Vlahovic. If you pay a lot of money for Vlahovic, I know he's got the potential to score a lot of goals. I did a video on strikers yesterday. A lot of people, fantastic to see different opinions in the comments, because a lot of people disagreed with me. They actually really like Vlahovic. And it's not that Vlahovic is not a good player, because at Fiorentina we saw him banging in the goals. You know, he's a striker. Out of all of the other options that were listed in terms of Martinez, Manuani, and then obviously Vlahovic, he's the most, you know, number 9. He's the most striker. And I did give a plus point in the fact that he is left-footed, and it brings a bit of a different option in terms of angles for shooting than Jackson and Broya and Nkunku. But that kind of signing would scare me a lot more, because it's like we've done that so many times and it hasn't worked. Whereas Dybala is another player that comes into the team, or even if he is off the bench, that helps with the creativity, but also can score goals. It's another player that can't really go missing per se in a match, you'd hope, at least.
Man, look, obviously seen Dybala when he was in Juventus, but more last season under Roma. And I remember Roma in the Europa League semi-finals against, I think it was Ajax, where he came on and he changed the course of the match. He scored a lovely goal as well. And every time he had the ball, you could sense that something's about to happen now. Like he's about to do something. It's either a pass or it's either a cross or something. And then Younes and I, we did the watch along for the final, and Dybala played the first 60 minutes, and Roma looked the best in that first 60 minutes with him. The corners.
We were shocked he lasted that long.
We were shocked that he lasted, because he had his leg all wrapped up in bandage and everything. But
Jose said he'd only play for 30, innit?
Yeah, and Younes, do you remember, like, every corner, it looked like something was going to happen for Roma. Yeah. Every delivery that he was putting on, like, it was crisp. And I think it was his goal, wasn't it? He was the one who scored for Roma to make a 1-0. And then, obviously, Sevilla made it 1-1. And it was a lovely goal from Dybala as well. So, look, for me, I have no doubt about the player and the quality. I think he's a very, very extremely good player. My biggest concern is, if you have a look at his injury, I think he had injury issues back in Juventus. That was one of the catalysts of why he had to, at the end, leave, because he just simply wasn't giving the same returns for Juventus. And then, of course, in Roma, he missed something around 18 matches. Someone was telling me the other day. That's a lot of matches to miss. And this is in Serie A. Wait till you come to the Premier League and you get your legs chopped on a regular basis. Then what? So that's my only worry. If he can stay fit and physically get stronger, I think it will be interesting to have Nkunku and Dybala, sometimes even both, Nkunku up front, maybe Dybala just behind, or maybe Dybala up front, Nkunku just behind. And then other times, maybe you can rotate between Nkunku and Dybala. You can just give Nkunku a bit of rest here and there, and Dybala can come on. Also, the experience as well. I'm pretty sure Dybala is now, 26, 27 or something like that? It seems like he's been around the blocks. Like he knows what's going on. He's played in the international levels for Argentina as well.
And he's 29.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. 29. I think I remember his welcome at Roma. It looked like they were almost doing president election. It was mad. It was almost like as if honestly, that was insane. It was.
Can we have that this season for one of the Chelsea players?
It looked like as if they won the World Cup. But this is why I've never kind of been for the whole. This is why I've never thrown this Dybala thing up until the link. Now I've only started to think about it, but this is why I've never really petitioned for it or anything myself on my own socials, is because he is very injury prone. And this league, if you're injury prone outside this league will kill you. This league will actually kill you. So it's just because he's so cheap, it makes it slightly more interesting. If he wasn't cheap, I wouldn't even think about it. I wouldn't even think twice. Because he's so cheap, and it could potentially spell the end of this attacking additions, which I really do want us to stop adding attackers. Like, a lot of people are talking about, the attack was so poor last season. We didn't have this, we didn't do that, we didn't score goals. We have a new manager So that's meant to make a massive difference, right? New system, new way of playing, right? That's meant to be a massive upgrade. We've signed Jackson now. Broja didn't even play last year. So that's basically like having 2 new strikers. Sterling, he may as well have not have played. That's like having a new player because he didn't play anywhere near his level. But if you don't want to count him, you can count Mudrik's first full season, Madueke's first full season as well. And then Enzo Fernandez, who's bringing a lot of creativity, his first full season. And we've just signed in Cuckoo. Like, we've literally changed the whole attack. Literally. Yeah. So I get people are worried about goals. But unless you don't want some of the players that have been brought in, and you may disagree at the time, but they're here now, you have to give them an opportunity to actually change the attack. You can't just keep adding attacker after attacker after attacker and expecting the attack to change. We've already changed the whole attack. So now, let's see if that actually changes the fortunes in front of goal. It's a whole new attack. There's no Ziyech now. He's going. Seems like as if he's going to be going. Pulisic's leaving. Hudson-Odoi's come back and he's going to be gone again. Lukaku, see ya, you know. Aubameyang, gone, is going to be gone. So it's in it. Kai Havertz gone. Mason Mount gone. It's an entire new attack. I don't know what more people could need.
Yeah. It has to change for us. There is no other way. Like, we can't be sitting and thinking, oh man, what if it doesn't change? What if we don't score? No, there is no what if. They got to score.
We'll never score again.
Yeah, we have to score next season. We must.
Yeah,
you must score.
You
must score. It's as simple as that. Some people talking about Dybala's wages. He's actually on some really humble average wage. He's about 6 million euros. Last someone was saying to me on I saw something on Twitter. Someone had a post out. He's on like 6 million euros. So that's what we were close to offering Ugarte. So I think we should be able to manage Dybala's wages. I don't think that should break any of the wage structure at all.
Now, one of the journalists, which is not one of the massive ones, so I'm going to read out what Fabrizio said after this, but one of the journalists from Italy are saying that Dybala is getting closer to extending his contract with Roma until 2026 with an increase in salary, plus bonuses, expecting a meeting with his agent in the next few days to try and close the agreement. Roma also wants to delete the release clause. So either he's going to sign a new contract and that release clause is going to be gone, or somebody's going to activate. But this was from Fabrizio Romano on his podcast that was reported this morning as well. Pochettino is a super big fan of Dybala, but the focus now is on Chelsea, is on Caicedo. It's crucial to understand this. Also, Chelsea are trying things less random this summer, less negotiating for 5-7 players at the same time. Do things step by step, focus on the top target. Oh God, this is just beautiful to hear. It's beautiful. It's bringing joys to me eyes, tears. These guys have learned their lesson. They're not trying to negotiate for 7 players in 7 different countries on 7 different time zones. They're actually going step by step. Wow. And that's good because, make no mistake, Caicedo is, or the midfield is now the key area. Dybala is like adding on icing on top of icing, right? Caicedo is critical. That midfield is critical. Yeah. That is the only actual position left where if we get a midfielder in now, I'm not stressed anymore. The rest of it can be outgoings. You clear Aubameyang, you clear Lukaku, you clear Ziyech, you clear Pulisic, you clear Hudson-Odoi, you clear the rest of the outgoings. If you sign one central midfielder, I'm not stressed anymore. Because now I know that Enzo's got a partner in crime next season. I know that for a fact. And then after that, it's about who impresses in pre-season. I would still like a goalkeeper, 100%. I would. But I've seen Kepa before, and it looks like I'm going to see him again. You know, at least it is a first-team goalkeeper in goal. Right now in midfield, we don't have a 2. We don't have a partnership that is experienced, at least at playing on the top level. So we need to get a midfielder in. And then, yes, people say we need 2 defensive midfielders. My point is if we get one, I'm not stressed. Because if Andre Santos absolutely destroys it in pre-season, funnily enough, no one will speak about the second midfielder anymore. That's just how we are as a fan base. Like if Andre Santos goes onto that pitch and he plays against Wrexham and he scores a hat-trick. Yeah, against Wrexham. I'm not even going to give you one of the Premier League clubs in that Premier League American trophy thing that we're playing in. If he plays against Wrexham, against Ryan Reynolds, and Ben Foster's got it on footage on YouTube, if he plays in that game and he gets a hat-trick, no one's talking about the second midfielder anymore. I can guarantee it. That's just how we are. So, and people will go right back into his Serie A Brazilian stats where he's played as a 6. And like, honestly, you can play as a 6. And no one will talk about a second midfielder anymore. You won't hear it. So
Thabz has figured out.
Yeah, like, genuinely, that's just how it is. Like, you have to give them an opportunity to impress in preseason and see if they can. Because again, Caicedo, when he came in from the Ecuadorian
Independiente.
Oh, was it the Argentine league that he came in?
No. I think from Ecuador,
that's an
team
Ecuadorian
called Independiente or something.
Okay. I think. So when Caicedo came in, nobody was like, oh, this guy's ready to be a starter and this guy's ready to take the Premier League by storm. But sometimes players just excel above their development rate. Yeah. Sometimes they just come in, they settle, they take it like a duck to water, and they just smash it immediately. That happens. That happens. So you have to give an opportunity for that to happen as well. You can't always play it on projections and think, oh, that's going to take 2-3 years. That's going to take 2-3 years. That's going to take 2 years. That's not how football works. If that's how football works, then everybody will be able to predict everything. But that's just not how it goes. So you have to leave an opportunity for that potential. Even if it's unlikely, you have to leave the opportunity for the potential. And that means preseason for me. But we definitely need to at least bring in one and then we go from there. But is everybody excited for preseason? And is everybody picking up that Travago training kit as well? We haven't spoken. That kit is just
banging.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
People are flocking already to get that thing, man. I need to get that.
Although it is pricey, isn't it?
Yeah, 110, I think I heard.
Bloody hell. I mean, I thought for a training kit, if you had told me a few years ago, training
maybe for the whole tracksuit, I'd like to see.
Back in the day, that used to be the tracksuit. 100 quid for the tracksuit, not a problem. But honestly, quality. I said this about Nike. With training gear, always fantastic. But with match day kits, and we'll wait to see what's going to happen with our home kit, because we've seen bad variations in terms of pictures and we've seen good variations, but those two don't quite match in terms of some of the finer details. So what is the actual shirt? Because I've seen some good examples that actually look really good, like fitted on a mannequin. Yeah. But then you look at what has actually been said by the people that leak the kit, that leak the kits and put out the pictures and the projections, and you can see slight differences. So which one's fake? Because it can't be both. This is where, look, we wait and see what happens. Are we going to get a sponsor? What's going on there? That whole Nintendo thing. I don't want to, destroy everyone's parade here. But I would love to have Nintendo, especially going back to like a 90s sort of feel. That would be class. But I genuinely think that video was a teaser to maybe a kit being launched as a tribute, or making it look like what we wore back in the late 90s. If there's resemblances to a kit from back then, I'm guessing. But the one thing to maybe shift it over to the other side of the coin, right, is
subscribe.
Subscribe. Is the Game Boy that was in that video actually had Nintendo written on it. And you can't just put other people's products on a as a placement without having to actually have some sort of a partnership or whatever is going on. So there is a possibility. So we'll see. But the training kit looks fantastic. Absolute blast.
Do you know what?
We don't even have a sleeve sponsor as well, so we have to get that sorted. So because we have
could be Nintendo.
I have to say, like so far this window plus the different business and also sponsorship. I mean, I know we haven't got anything for the front of the shirt as yet. Well, I don't know if it's Nintendo or not, but Nintendo is probably going to be there as a partner, much like the Oman Airways as well. Like really smart business with Oman Airways, very lucrative up and coming, airways. So to do a partnership with them, potentially a partnership with Nintendo as well. We'll see. This is how you bring in the revenue streams, and I like how Todd Bowley and Baghdad Iqbali and the board are not only focusing on a lot of outgoings and incomings as well, hopefully with Caicedo and few more. Obviously, we've got Nicholas Jackson, but they're also focusing on the business side. How can we make sure from an FFP standpoint, because it's all about revenue. The more revenue you bring in, and hopefully your expenses are still at that same level, it's that end amount. The profit is what you can. That's how you stay as sustainable as possible, and that's how you stay away from being in trouble. It's when you start being in the negative. You start making losses, and 3 seasons losses in a row, that's when you get in trouble with FFP. So I like everything that the board, the owner's been doing throughout this summer window, man, and some really smart sponsorship moves. Besides the stake one, I think that was a bit odd.
Yeah. People are saying the next divide will be Levi Cole versus Badbyes Chile. Mark this. I'm already aware of the potential, but I'm just gonna hope and pray that Badbyes Chile is too nice of a character, and he's done too well at the start of his Chelsea career for him to be disrespected. Listen, Levi Cole is right now exciting a lot of people. He's putting his foot on top of the ball in under 21 games, and people are losing their shit. But I rate Levi Cole, and I was saying last summer we cannot lose this guy. So nobody knows this level of talent, right? To not know that this is not coming from a bad place. But I'm not gonna over milk it right now, because at the end of the day, we know that it's going to be his first season at Chelsea. There are going to be some errors. There are going to be mistakes. There's going to be times where he overplays and he might get caught out. The same happened to John Stones at Everton. So for me personally, I'm not even going to participate in this little face-off that people are going to start to create, because Badbyes Chile came in and he was brilliant from the get-go in it, and he deserves his respect. And I'm not gonna really be involved in that, because I rate both of them. I'm very happy with Badbyes Chile. Didn't know too much about him when he joined. He's come in and been a brilliant success. Yep. And I rate Colwell very highly. So it's up to them to kind of fight out for the place. And whoever starts, I'm going to be fine. As long as they're playing well, I'm going to be fine. I'm sure they will be if they're starting. So yeah, for me, I can't be having any Badbyes Chile respect, man. Already, I'm going to be cool with that. So yeah, that's how I see it at the moment.
Let's see. Hilarious from Levi Colwell, just to say. They're very good vibes. I hope he takes the same trajectory as Reece James did when he first started. And I get that feeling. I don't think it'll be toxic. I don't think it'll be a case where people will say, oh, Levi Colwell's playing crap. I genuinely think there's a good player there. So it'll be healthy competition. Fingers crossed.
This super chat. Who's gonna deal with this one? Hilarious that you two were screaming for Felix to replace Mount. Mount wanted by most of the big six. Felix not wanted by his parent club anymore. I mean, who wants to tackle that? Who wants to tackle?
No one, bro. Just pass. Thank you for the super chat, and we just pass.
Mount versus Felix is over. It's done. And to be honest, Liverpool were interested. They didn't come in the end with the fee, which is, I think 55 million is a pretty humble fee for, you know, a player like Mason Mount, if he's going to be one of the best midfielders of all time in the Premier League and whatnot. 55 million is not a lot of money these days. It's quite a normal fee. And it was only Man United that felt like it was necessary to go and do that fee. Felix, I don't know what's going on with Felix, man. He just needs to find a new club. He's still got our club in his bio. But yeah, he needs to find a new club ASAP. But listen, Atletico Madrid not wanting him is not really a surprise to me, because you know the two styles couldn't contrast any more than they do between Simeone and Felix.
It's true.
If we are having to sit here and explain to you what a brilliant footballer Felix is and what he can bring from an attacking standpoint, then I'm sorry, like, we're just wasting time. I don't need to. You should be able to see what he's capable of doing from an attacking standpoint. I know there is flaws with João Felix in terms of off the ball. He probably needs to work on that, and maybe this is a first taste that he got out of it in the Premier League, that how important he's off the ball. I'm pretty sure this is one of the reasons why Simeone wasn't too keen, because they do need to have people working real hard. But you're having a laugh if you think someone like João Felix would not work in you know, like, I don't know, Real Madrid or Barcelona or, you know, Man City or whoever else. Like, is a top attacking player. Like, there's no doubts about that. And in terms of technical ability and overall attacking sense, yes, he is ahead of Mason Mount. And this isn't some sort of a disrespect to Mace. Mace has got other things that go for him, like his off-the-ball work rate is much superior to João Felix.
Yeah.
But if I'm having to like have this argument and this stupid debate, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. That's how I look at it.
Who do you expect him to go to? I'm quite intrigued to see. Who do you think he's going to end up going to? Because he's not staying at Atletico Madrid.
He wants a London club, so I don't know. I don't know, man. Like
West Ham.
Spurs.
He was wearing a West Ham kit.
West Ham.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah.
Arsenal were interested, weren't they, last time around? Like, could it be another loan? I don't know. I don't understand why Poch, like, he would take a punt on Dybala, but you wouldn't take a punt on João Felix.
I think Felix is too expensive in comparison. I think that's, for me.
But that shouldn't be Poch's problem. Like,
it shouldn't be. But
owners looking to get. But look, I understand if Poch doesn't.
I wouldn't spend 80 million on Felix, even though I really like the player.
It would be a loan, right? They were saying that it would be another.
For me,
loan.
It would be a loan max. But even his loan fee is potentially going to be more expensive than Dybala's actual transfer fee, which is insane.
Of course, of course. Look, if Poch categorically doesn't like Felix, no problems. Like, you play with the players that you like, no problems. But I wouldn't be sitting here and just downright degrading João Felix that he's simply not a Premier League level player. Now, I'm so certain that Frank Lampard probably gave a bad recommendation. Honestly, like, how could Pochettino seriously just sit there and just feel that he's not worth giving a shot? Unless he's probably thinking, look, Nkunku's coming in, he's going to play majority. He's going to play majority of the games. I can't give someone like João Felix that much time. It's better off not having him around.
That is it.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
It just doesn't fit in terms of, like, we can look at what fits for us, but we also got to look at what fits for the player.
Of course.
The circumstances just don't match. Whereas Dybala, I think, would fit rightly in, and I think he would even understand it himself, knowing that he's injured all the time. He'd probably be grateful that he's even just in the Premier League with his history of injuries and whatnot. I think he'd just be like, I'm just happy to be here. And thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the circumstances don't really match. So this whole Felix Mount thing is a non-issue. That's it. It's
something that people would have been arguing for centuries, but thankfully neither of them are with us anyway, so we don't have to talk about it. Dybala is going to be another Aubameyang if we get him. It's an interesting one, that super chat there. 55 million is a huge fee of 1 year left on your contract. Yeah, it is to be fair. Maddison, 40 million, 1 year left. There's, I think it is. It's a good fee for all parties. I said it before. I don't think we should have been taking any less, and I don't think Man United should be potentially going too much higher. I think it's a good fee for everyone. I was always trying to squeeze out the potential 60, but I think 55 is a good fee. But make no mistake, they are rivals, and he is an English international. So we're not going to take the piss here and go with some sort of low ass 35 million fee or anything. What's the new hold up with Moses Caicedo? To be honest, until I hear a bid has gone in, this situation has not changed for me. For weeks, Fabrizio is saying we're preparing a bid, we're talking behind the scenes. And as far as I'm concerned, that's still the case. Now, if Brighton want to put the price up to 100 million publicly to make their fan base even more, yes, Bloom's, absolutely busting their balls, whatever it is, then cool. But for me, until a bid goes in and, it sounds like as if there's any serious movement on it, I haven't spoken on it because for me, there's nothing really more to speak on. We want the player. Players agreed personal terms with us. And until this bid comes out, I don't know what the bid's going to be. Some people are saying it's going to be 80 if they want 100, and we're almost wasting our time. I don't know, but maybe that 100 million is a fake stance. We know that they had a release clause so low for McAllister that it's almost daylight robbery. Maybe they're trying to get some of that money back as well. So I don't know. But we're like you, we're just waiting.
Although I do want to say about bids very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Depends how the club does its business, because there's some clubs that will just go and put a bid in, and then you'll see it rejected, and then we'll hear it's been rejected. We've had this history where we do business, we talk, we do things informally, we come to an agreement, and then we put the actual formal bid in, and then it gets put out to the press, and then all of that has happened. But it does mean that things have actually been done behind the scenes without us really, really knowing the fine details. So I'd like to hope that's the situation right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and we're just not just sitting back doing nothing. Like I think we are talking of Brighton.
Yeah, so it's a long conversation. And obviously in terms of your second question is in terms of why we see links to other players without priority one done. Seems like Fabrizio has kind of basically said that, listen, yeah, there are links to others, but the priority is Caicedo, and that's what they're focusing on. So that kind of rebuffs that. You need to ask yourselves why the top managers went for Mount as opposed to Maddison and Felix. Football, not FIFA. Ms. Younes or Ten Hag and Klopp. Never ends. It just never ends. I mean, listen, we know that, like I said, we know that Mount has very redeemable traits with managers in terms of what he can do off the ball and even what he can do on the ball. I've said it before. I think a lot of people think that he's just this player that can't contribute anything on the ball. And I've said to Man United fans, you're actually going to probably be quite surprised if you get his confidence levels back up, what he can do on the ball. But at the end of the day, you know, Liverpool, they pursued other targets. They went to go for McAllister. They went to go for Szoboszlai. And Man United, it was a proper pulling of the teeth to get the damn fee out of them in the end. So they would have pursued other targets if we had put that price up a little bit higher. So, you know, there's interest from top managers. Felix, I think right now, Atletico Madrid are probably wanting too much money. He's not available for 40 million or 30 million. I don't know what is they're looking for, like 80 million. No one's going to pay 80 million for Felix, and no one would pay 80 million for Mount. So there lies part of the problem as well.
Time will tell as well. I do want to say on this, on like Mount, for example, time will tell.
How well he does.
We'll see. Yeah.
It's almost as if Chelsea fans want him to do so well.
They do. Some do, which I find quite odd.
They're waiting for that day when they can go, see, I told you he scored 25 goals for Man United and win the Premier League for them. There you go. I told you we shouldn't have let him go. Why do you want that day to happen?
It's weird. Like, it's almost like now it's more of a priority to have the players that you rated do well than for your own club to win. And for me, I don't give a damn. Like, if Felix went to Arsenal, I don't wish Felix nothing but a flop.
Absolutely.
Nothing but failure. And I've got his damn shirt. I don't wish him nothing but failure. Like, number one priority has always got to be Chelsea, not these little online battles. I was right. He said, she said this. I don't give a damn. I'll give the opinion at the time. And then if that player ends up becoming a rival, I do not wish you well. I do not wish you well. I do not want none of these players that have left us to go to rivals to do well. I'm not interested. Even though I have already said that Mason Mount, there's a player there. There's something to redeem. I think we could have kept him, and I think Pochettino could have got something out of him. And I've said to Man United fans like Saeed, he's a good player. You're doing too much. Even though I've said that, I don't want to be proven right because I don't want Man United to win anything. I want Man United to get relegated. That's what I want.
Of course.
So what I actually want in a funny way is for everything I said on the Big Six to almost be wrong, and for him to go 0 for 0 in GA, for it to absolutely flop, and then of course these guys will come and pelt at me and they'll be like, "Oh, see, I told you." And I was like, "All right, cool." But now you're in the Championship. That's what I want. So people say, "Oh yeah, listen, it's not personal." The only thing is personal with Lukaku. I've said this already. It's not personal. It's football. It's tribalism. Mason Mount's probably, very nice guy. Same with Kai Havertz or whoever you want to bring up in terms of personality. The point is, I don't care. That's what you need to understand. I don't care. These are not my friends. I don't know them. And they play for rivals. I couldn't give a rat's bollocks how nice they are. I'm not interested. I want to beat these clubs that they play for. They're playing for red shirts. Red shirts. They're playing for Manchester United and Arsenal. They potentially will come up against us in finals, in semi-finals of cups, in league campaigns where we're both chasing similar, qualifications for Champions League, etc. Caicedo or Enzo, whoever's in our midfield, will be going in for 50-50s with Mason Mount and Kai Havertz. Once you get that into your heads, that is when you realize that I'm not interested in them doing well at all at these clubs. That's just how it is. You're not wearing our shirt.
And that's the thing, isn't it, Matisse? Like, these players are not going overseas. Like, they're here in the Premier League.
It's like Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek's going to AC Milan. I wish you Loftus-Cheek nothing
all
but
the
the
best.
best. All more than you can believe. If anything, please, I need you to actually win the league. If I
Clean up, get Ballon d'Or.
Please, if I could pick Loftus-Cheek, Giroud, Tomori, Leao, win Pulisic potentially winning Serie A over Inter Milan, I actually beg of you, please win. I wish you more than, we're not even in Champions League. Win the Champions League more than you can believe.
Yes.
I wish you nothing but the best. I'm begging for your best. I'm begging. But if you're in this league with one of our rivals, I'm sorry, I don't even know who you are anymore. That's just how it has to be until you retire. You must suffer. You must suffer. You must suffer. You must.
You must lose against us every meeting, and you must be there must be a fail compilation for you.
Yeah,
every time. No, like if Mount had gone to, I don't know, to let's say Real Madrid or something, Portsmouth, like Serie A, sorry, La Liga team or something like that, I don't think the animosity will be that would have been as much as it is right now. The fact that he's gone to Man United as well, like, how can I sit here and go, I wish you all the best, I hope you clean it up? How?
Nope.
I simply cannot do that.
I can't do that. And even though, like, we spoke about on the last show about the exit and how it was left, and whether or not whose fault it is, all these things doesn't even matter. Again, doesn't matter how you've left, doesn't matter whose fault it is, doesn't matter the context. You're going to a rival. My rival hat is on, and you can't do well. It's as simple as that. An Arsenal fan here. Do you think you guys lack creative mid? Enzo is a progressive number 8, or can be, but you guys need a number 10. Do you agree? I mean, we have Nkunku. Nkunku's going to be playing that role. It all depends on
there'll be more, though.
the roles, the responsibilities, and the task at hand. But Nkunku's playing there. For me personally, we do have creativity, just different type of creativity, and put in Mudryk and Madueke. A lot of people are talking about Mudryk's performances for the under-21s. He's actually got a bit of vision, potentially a little bit of a pass on him. So this is what I'm saying, is that when you keep constantly adding players without actually allowing the players that you have to showcase what attributes they could give you, then you get lost. So instead of me saying we don't have this, we don't have that, what I'm saying is we've literally changed the entire attack already. Let's see what they actually have by giving them the minutes that they came here for, giving them the consistency that they want to achieve. And hopefully then we start to unlock attributes. And by the way, we have a coach that's meant to be and is great at developing players. So let's see what he can do with these players as well before we start saying we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have this. Because if we start doing that, then for me, I think we're a little bit lost in the source of just signing players.
And also, just remember, obviously, Nkunku will add to creativity. Enzo Fernandez has shown already what he can do from a deeper position. But when you have someone like Caicedo, which will allow him to perhaps move a little bit forward as well and link up a little bit more with Nkunku, so that should create a lot more creativity. We saw the passes that Enzo Fernandez provided, some of the assists that he had last season. And don't forget, if a fit Reece James, he's also very, very lethal on that right side. So, there's that too. So don't disregard. Like, creativity doesn't necessarily have to be from central areas. It can come from many different areas. People don't think about Lewa Colwell. Like, Lewa Colwell, I've started to deem him as an attacking defender. Like, Lewa Colwell is an attacking defender. Like, he's got creative nature in his head from deep to
he's a number 9 centre back.
No, he is. Like, line-breaking passes. Like, I've said it recently. This guy's an attacking defender. Like, he attacks from deep. Finds those really
that is some
passes.
next new football manager term, an attacking defender.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like Rudiger on the steroids.
Iceman Out is trending in the comments. And I'm not going to lie to you, Roman Abramovich, with the super chat. I tend to agree with you. I am this close with Iceman, and it's not the season's not even kicked off, and I'm already at my whips with Iceman.
This guy's your mod, by the way. He's your mod.
I know he is. He's just such an
Love-hate relationship.
Such a confusing character.
Lukaku stuff was bad enough.
He is just one of those. He's one of those characters in the chat that you don't know what to do with him. You either want to promote him, propel him to the top of the chat because he's so active and he's giving you so much fantastic content. I think he's almost a content creator in the live chat. That's how much content he's given us. That's how much he's given us. But at the same time, you just want to give him a little timeout. You know, just let the chat breathe for a second, just so it can breathe. Because right now it's hot in that chat. Look at all the commotion, arguing, insanity, and it's all because of one man.
He doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, right? And I'll be honest, right? If look, I'm not taking his opinion here, his side, but he's not said anything insulting.
No, he hasn't.
Entitled to say what he wants to say.
He is.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
He really just knows how to rattle. That's the thing. He's absolutely fantastic at it. He's got the whole chat popping at the moment.
Fair play.
Another one. We've had 2 super chats basically on him. Just tempted to maybe we should get him on the show.
Man's helping you here.
Yeah. I was just gonna say,
so.
Financially, I think he's really helping.
Please go and support United, you plastic, says Roman. Second time Roman has to send a super chat in about Iceman. I don't worry, I haven't lost any of your super chats if I haven't read them out in order. It's just because like I said, there's a lot going on in that chat right now. It's all over the place. We got to rename Chelsea to Leonardo DiCaprio FC. Oh my god, because we're going for under 25s constantly. Dybala's going to another club. Sorry, we've already read that one out. It's going to be another Aubameyang if we sign him. I'm there front row if Caicedo clamps Mason Mount. Obviously, I never wish any injury on anybody, but a good strong tackle just to get the. Do you know what I want? I want the good old days. Do you know what I want? We've got this new South American grit that we're potentially putting together at our club, right? South American FC. I miss the days of Man United versus Chelsea, Arsenal versus Chelsea, and it used to be fights. Give me Caicedo versus Mason Mount, pushing, shoving, getting heated, emotional at Stamford Bridge, and the crowd going. Give me that. Yeah, inject that into my veins. Do you know what I miss about football? I want the storylines. I want the storylines. Give me the storylines. Give me the rivalries. Give me the anger. Give me the emotion. I don't want all these hugs, Klopp and Pep hugs and kisses. Thank you so much. Your fullback is the best. No, your fullback is the best. No, you have the best points tally. No, you have the. I don't give a shit. Give me the handshake between Tuchel and Conte. Give me that anger. Give me the handshakes. Give me that. Give me that.
Who I know where he was managing or coaching or whatnot, but have you seen that clip where Dennis Wise is in that dressing room with the load of lads that can't speak English, and he starts to try and tell them on how to break people's legs? Have you seen? He's like, I
don't wish any injury. I want
you to put him in there. Put him in the stands. Put him in. I want you to go through him. Mate, that's what I'd be saying. I'd be saying the same thing. I'd be giving the Dennis Wise treatment.
Yeah, it's mad. Jesus Christ! Don't want anybody to get injured.
That's none of this injury stuff. Just
people are tweeting me saying another loan for Felix would be great. And then somebody else is just. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Jeremy Vine, but he's this guy that have you heard of him, Younes? Yeah. So somebody's tagged me in this tweet, and it's him riding a bike again, doing some foolish shit. But I'll watch that later. Thanks for tagging me. He is probably one of the most annoying people in the UK, but it is what it is. Petition to get the Mount fanboys out of this club, please. Lewis has obviously been on tour this week in terms of telling people about, fanboy and fangirling and all these things of certain players. Listen, obviously if Reece James had left, it would have hurt me more, etc. But these are all players that could leave at any point. It's very unlikely that someone's going to retire here. Even Lampard didn't retire here. Drogba didn't retire here. Terry didn't retire here. Cech didn't retire here. Ashley Cole actually did not either because he went to LA Galaxy. Yeah. So just think of your Chelsea kind of, Chelsea folklore, right? And your Chelsea's best ever, favorite ever players. And think who's actually retired here. Very few of them. And none of them in that category. So I'm always ready for an exit in terms of, Now, obviously, it helps if they actually fulfill their career like an Azpilicueta and that they're only They're not really going on to do much more after, especially not with a rival. But again, football is a funny game. Anything can happen, more than you can believe. So it's just better to mentally be ready for that. What are your thoughts on the Colwill situation? I haven't spoken about Colwill for good reason. There is no Colwill situation. He's not going anywhere. And for me, that's the situation. And until I see something drastically different, there is no Colwill situation. His contract is up until I think 2025. So again, the new contract, if it gets signed, great. If it doesn't, then we talk next summer on what we do with you then. But in terms of Poch, he still has to meet him, I think, as well. He's obviously with the under 21s. I think England plays Spain in the final tomorrow. So there's nothing more to it. There's nothing more to it. And I know people are trying to make something out of it because Liverpool fans are desperate to, oh please, we're gonna give us Colwill. No, you're not getting Colwill, Liverpool fans. So just go on to another target. Save yourself the time. Man said Nintendo is going to be a new sponsor. It's a it's a Mario. It's a Mario. I was trying to figure out what was being said there. Listen, it's probably not going to happen. Classic. But if it did, it would be unbelievable. It would automatically go down as one of our best kits of all time. In my opinion, anyway. Sorry, a bit late, but what makes me angry about Mount is these footballers have such big egos. Mount actually thinks he plays like De Bruyne up in that number 7 shirt, 300k a week. Thankfully, we've already moved on from the Mount topic, but I know you're coming in late, so you know what I mean. Big up to yourself, brother, for coming in. But listen, he's wearing that number 7. It's a lot of pressure. Sancho's doing the 2+5. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't given it to him. It's a little bit disrespectful. Man's literally doing installments and doing, addition to get his 7, and they're not giving it to him. But listen, that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of weight on his shoulders. So it's up to Mount to prove everybody wrong in terms of a lot of the Chelsea fan base now, and let's see what he does. But like I said, I won't be wishing that he does it. Big up, missed your live this morning. Just finished up. 2 a.m. in Chicago can be difficult. Brighton wanting 100 million for Caicedo has to be because of a longer pay structure could be the hold up. Pay structure could come into it. It could. We've seen with Arsenal, I think they're going to pay it in 3 installments with Rice. How we pay for Caicedo is going to be interesting. Obviously, we're going to go potentially with an 8-year contract, I've heard. Now the new rules is that the fee can only be spread across the 5 years. So you could still hand out 8-year contracts, 9-year, 10-year, 11 years. No one can tell you how long a contract can be. But they're not going to let you spread out the payment of the transfer fee more than 5 years. So that is the rule that was, I think, effective from 1st of July. What type of midfield are we trying to be next season? Are we prime Liverpool, pure workhorses, City, or Arsenal like? What would be our advantage against other teams? I think it's going to be more technical than workhorse because Enzo is a very technical midfielder. But I think it's a blend of both because Caicedo is gonna cover a lot of ground, and I think if there's anyone that can kind of replace Kante, it is a Caicedo. That's kind of potentially what he can be. Slightly different because obviously he can drop a lot deeper and I think get involved in first phase. And Kante was became more of a box to box under Sarri. But I think Caicedo potentially can hold his position a bit better. But yeah, that you've got a blend of both there. You've got a blend of both, and that's what's needed.
There's one thing I want to say as well to that super chat. Bringing it up a midfield, are we trying to be like City's midfield, or are we trying to be like Arsenal's midfield, or Liverpool's midfield? We're trying to be like Chelsea's midfield.
Exactly.
We want others to look at us and go, "Oh wow, man, yeah, that Chelsea midfield." We got to make our own style. We got to make our own. Let's be original. Let's come up with something that just others don't have.
We are our own model. Yeah, no, you're right. Spot on. What do we need to be? We don't have the ingredients like City have. What do we need to be like Liverpool? We don't have the same sort of midfield qualities or Arsenal. We be us. We create our own model. And I think we've got something unique going on with Enzo Fernandez being so technically gifted and his vision is immaculate. And then you have someone like Caicedo who's so robust. Yeah, so combative. Like we've got something unique going on. So,
and then potentially we could have a bit of aerial ability there with maybe a Cassidy in the future or someone else. So yeah, there's actually a lot of different attributes here that we could use to our advantage. Roman says, "I pray Mount and Havertz flop and get relegated." You're spitting, absolutely spitting. I test. DM says, is it just me that doesn't care about the Mount stuff? It seems to be, yeah. It seems to be because there's a lot of commotion. But I think, listen, it's still probably quite raw for a lot of people. I think the interview was released yesterday. I think Younes was telling me it's only available for members of Man United, etc. I think after a week has passed, and I think after the Caicedo deal is done, because right now there's a hole in our midfield that we're kind of just waiting to be filled. And it's lingering. So once Caicedo gets done and it gets announced, then that's a massive transfer that everybody gets mad excited about. He gets his shirt number. No one will be thinking about Mason Mount and Kai Havertz anymore.
About Mount as well. Well, not about Mount, but I do suspect we're probably going to try and replace him. So get like an attacking midfielder in or something. Yes, and Nkunku's there, but I do think either maybe Shirky or Vega will probably end up joining us.
Okay.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Shirky would if we get Shirky, you ain't gonna hear about Mount no more. People are gonna be absolutely gassed if that guy comes. He's one of those players that the potential and the ceiling inside your thoughts, what this player could do on the football pitch is just like, yeah. Both. I
think Iceman would disagree.
Probably, yeah. He'll find a way to disagree. Iceman, do you like Shirky or you know, what's your take there? Let me
Mount categorically. Mount for sure.
I test DM says Brighton want a huge sum up front, otherwise 100 million fee. We're gonna see. Yeah, listen, that doesn't surprise me. Of course, we can't go to them with a 40 million up front and then some next installments like Nicolas Pepe. We need a number one goalkeeper, 2 DMs, a new right 10, and an elite striker. For me, I disagree that we need all of those players because I do think that's too many to come through the door. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players on top of Jackson, on top of who else have we signed? Is it just Jackson that we've signed?
Jackson and I don't know, maybe some 12-year-olds as well. Pretty certain we've got some more of them. I lose count now, bro. About right. I lose count.
Yeah, for me, I think if you're gonna get
the Angelo Gabriel guy, the Brazilian.
Yeah. And we could be getting Franco as well from For
França.
me, I only want to see one more tackle.
There's a França.
Either it's a right winger, either it's a right winger / a 10, or it's a striker. I don't want to see 2 more forwards coming on top of the forwards. I think it's too many new forwards personally. Even already, like we're getting to, because Gallagher could end up staying and he could end up becoming the backup 10 to Nkunku. I know nobody wants to hear it, but Gallagher's still contracted to this football club. He could easily become the pressing 10 backup in that position, who could contribute to goals. So I know people are trying to pretend he doesn't play for us, but he does.
Simon
Johnson,
said that potentially he will go.
Yeah, him and Jalaba.
Yeah,
I mean, it all depends on the outgoings. If we sell, loads more players outside of the ones I named earlier, then maybe. But
you know why, Matisse? You know why? Because I read an article maybe a couple of weeks ago. Like, for example, players like Chalobah, like they've got aspirations to make it to England's Euro team.
Yeah.
So the only way you're going to do that is you've got to go somewhere you play regularly. Yeah. Similarly with Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher was in the English.
It's true.
Was he in the World Cup team, Conor Gallagher?
No, I don't think so.
Knowing Gareth Southgate, probably.
Maybe he was. Was he?
No, he was. Conor Gallagher was in the World Cup.
He must have been.
Conor Gallagher wasn't in the England. He was in the England squad somewhere.
He must.
He was, but I don't think it was a World Cup. Surely not.
What else could have been?
England World Cups.
I'm pretty certain Gallagher made it. Yeah, live chat saying he was. Yeah, he was. He was in the World Cup.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Conor Gallagher.
So he don't want to give away that spot.
Well,
right?
do you know what? It's funny because you say that, but he just everything that you hear from him, it seems like he just wants to stay at Chelsea, wants to make Chelsea. And you do get players like that who will forego England, they will forego their whole career, they will forego everything to make it at Chelsea. Loftus-Cheek is the same. And I can't discredit this guy. Gallagher absolutely loves Chelsea. The way that he plays is tough to watch at times, but this guy will leave everything. He will give everything to be out there, and then to when he's out there, he will give everything again.
It's proper Chelsea. He's proper Chelsea. He's proper Chelsea.
He almost plays through. He plays as a fan at times. Like you can see he's almost a fan. Like when he's out there, in the way that
he's just
plays.
running about with his eyes.
He's just charging at everything. He won't let anything go. He won't. This brother's just chasing everything.
I can't believe I'm here.
Everything.
That's my shadow.
Oh, the ball's coming to me.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere. That's not prop. That's just facts.
No, legit. Like Matisse, I understand what you're saying.
Legit. No, it's legit. Like as much as he's killing me slowly at times when I'm watching him.
Yeah, he's not quality. He's not Chelsea quality.
He's not Chelsea quality for me, and I'm not going to change my mind on that unless I see some drastic improvement. I cannot deny that this guy wants to play here, and I do.
He means well.
He means well, and I do respect that because
he'd play for free for Chelsea. I reckon he would play for free.
How can I not? You know what I mean?
He would play for free for Chelsea. He really would.
I love the club. He loves the club. So therefore, we have that in common. You know, that's.
But this is the thing. We can't let that cloud our judgment.
Exactly. That's the thing. Just because he loves the club, and it's so easy to get sucked in. It's so easy to get sucked in.
Yeah.
But that is not enough, and that is the point that I keep saying. It's not enough. If you have that and you're a great footballer, then brilliant. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. But if you don't have both, then it's a problem. And even people talk to me about pressing number 10 and he could be used in that regard. He's still technically, in terms of receiving the ball under pressure, in terms of his first touch, in terms of just the way he plays the game, is still not for me at the level of what we should be trying to have. Yeah. Now, you could say he's a squad player, but even when you come on off the bench, I'm still there watching you do the same thing that you were doing if you were starting. So, you know, there has to be a base level of ability here that I'm looking at. Brighton. So yeah, we've already read that one out. We're going to fly through these and we're coming towards the end of the show, people. Why are we letting Onana go to Manchester United? Listen,
I don't think it's us letting him go.
I've clocked it.
Yeah, that too. I clocked it. I think he wants to go to Erik ten Hag. So it's not about us. No, I think we've figured it out very quick that he's not interested to come to Chelsea. So. And he's very interested.
To be fair, they have Champions League football. It's a manager that he's worked with before. So they've...
It's the manager that really plays for him a lot. So he knows the manager. The manager will know exactly what is required of him. And of course, all of the Champions League and all that is obviously bonus. Because for me, it didn't make sense because I was blaming Chelsea all this. I'm like, well, why isn't Chelsea going for him? And then I just clocked, do you know what? Maybe it's not even about us. It's his preference. He don't want to be with us. So hopefully we got a good relationship building with AC Milan, and maybe we can get money.
Well, if Inter Milan get that money for Onana, I'm expecting that money to be funned over to us for Lukaku.
To us, yeah.
So I'm expecting that money to make its way round. Obviously, the transfer is taken, conducted, goes to Milan, and then it comes back to London. It comes to London, so it returns to British Isles very soon for Lukaku. If they take that money and spend it on anyone else, and still try to play games with us, no.
It doesn't even need to go to Milan. Inter can just be like, "Can you send it to Chelsea straight?"
Yeah. Facts.
Just give us.
So then Man United get to send us even more money.
Give Todd Bowley his bank account.
We'll send Lukaku on his way to Milan.
Yeah, 100%. I bought 3 posters of Mount, Kante, Lukaku last year. Plus, I got Werner and Havertz shirts the year before. Am I cursed?
Kante, that's poor.
Wow.
My advice is don't get any posters this season. Don't get any posters this season. So I'll keep some of the players.
On the shirts, try to wait a year. You can go to get the name at a later date. Just let things settle first. And on the posters, I just ripped them.
I found a way. What you need to do, my friend, is you need to buy posters of Mount again, right? You need to get Man United posters, Arsenal posters, City posters, Liverpool posters. No need for Tottenham. And for shirts, just get a Mason Mount shirt, get a Kai Havertz shirt, get a Hairline shirt. Hopefully the curse sticks.
But what if Younes it reverses when you buy rival shirts? Like they start doing well.
Oh, then at that point we just end the game.
I do like that idea though. I do like that idea. If you're our curse, let's use that to our advantage. Let's think. Let's think outside the box here. Yeah, chess, not checkers. Exactly. You three are the best trio. I look forward to your videos daily. Need more videos throughout the day from you boys. We'll be back. Top 4, mark my words. Thank you, brother. I'm not gonna lie. I'm taking a bit of family time now in Ireland. I'm a little bit exhausted from the season that we've had. Now back from New York, so I'm still putting out content, but I'm not able to put out the same amount of content as Younes and Miz. I can't lie, man. Right now, I'm charging because next season it's gonna be football focus. You're gonna have more watch-alongs here than I think you're gonna get anywhere else on YouTube in terms of football channels. I'm being deadly serious. Like, I'm going to be covering so many matches next year. You lot are gonna be like, yo, this guy's on again. This guy's here again. This guy's doing a double.
Your channel's just live, constantly.
Bro. I'm just going to be live, bro. I may even fall asleep on this chair with some of the games, but we will be there because we won't be just doing Premier League. We won't be just doing Champions League. We will be there for the AC Milan matches when we can get them, when they're not clashing with Chelsea. We'll be there for Bundesliga. We'll be there for La Liga. I will be there. We will be there. So I need to charge. I'm charging right now. Do you know what I mean? I'm literally attached to my plug right now. But yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. To all three of you, keep fighting the good fight. We will keep fighting, bro. I'm telling you, we just want that window to close with everything that we need for the season, man. I don't enjoy the transfer window drama as much as you think. It's just stressful not knowing what your squad's going to look like for the season. I'm not going to lie, especially when we're talking about a very competitive top 5 fight for Champions League. Younes, you funding me? ?
Yeah, I'll wire it all over. Give me about 24 hours.
Give you 24 hours. 5th of July will be known as Mount Independence Day. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's a good one. I'm not going to lie. And last few ones. Todd is like all of us. When we have a tap leak, we tried to fix it ourselves instead of calling a plumber. Now he's got multiple plumbers for the job. It's true. It's true. He did think he could do the DIY himself last season when he was having wonderful meals in Barcelona and whatnot. And now when Stanley has the meals instead, it seems. Younes, you were right with number 7 Mount and Beck's reference. Already checked with Miz in his life. Man, Younes, Tchouaméni or Caicedo for 80 million. I would personally slightly lean to. Oh, this is tough.
No, you'd say Tchouaméni.
I probably would. I like Caicedo. I like Caicedo a lot, but there's something about signing Tchouaméni and pairing him up next to Enzo. And I think for me, if I'm to get tactical with it, if anyone disagrees, that would be great because now you can combat because I'm gonna go Tchouaméni prop again. Tchouaméni, I think I definitely know can play in the single pivot. Caicedo hasn't played it yet. I think he can. I actually think he can, but he hasn't played it yet. He's been playing as part of a 2. But Tchouaméni, I know, can play as a single pivot. Also, our midfield aerially is lacking. So Tchouaméni brings a little bit of aerial dominance, a little bit of that to the team if I'm nitpicking. And yeah, I just think Tchouaméni he's a quality player, man. He's a quality player. So I'm slightly going towards him. And also, fuck Brighton, so they don't get any money as well.
I wouldn't mind either of them. I just want South American leg breaker in the team, though. So, for obvious reasons.
Leg breaker.
Man United at the bridge. Come on.
But in terms of South American connection, you do have that more of Caicedo.
We're not wishing for any injuries.
We're not wishing for any injuries. What about you, Miz? What's your preference?
Nah, I think Deshaun was the same guy that put the same super chat on my live stream as well. I said I think Tchouaméni at 80 million makes far more sense. I feel from a total package, footballing package, Tchouaméni has a lot more artilleries as opposed to Caicedo. And this is no disrespect to Caicedo. Caicedo is a superb defensive midfielder. I think Tchouaméni just has. Not just from a defensive standpoint, he has all the attributes, but with the ball as well, man. Like some of his passing, range that he has is just unbelievable. I think that's where he pips Caicedo a little bit.
French speaking, so you got that sitter in front of, Fofana, potentially Badiashile if he starts as well. So you got a little bit of a contingency there. Gusto at right back as well.
Go ahead.
In Cuckoo, yeah. So there's a lot of French speakers there.
Yeah.
Communication, chemistry, who knows? So listen, if you're building France's national team, you're not doing a bad job in life. Trust me, because they got one hell of a team. And actually, before we go, if I can get you guys' preference on Muani, Vlahovic, or Martinez, who would you prefer? I've gone with Muani again with that French connection. And personally, he's the one that makes me shit myself the least in terms of as a footballer. But
I would, but I mean, there was a report this morning, wasn't there, of apparently how they're asking for close to 100 or 150 million for.
Didn't they bring that price tag down to 80? I think 150 next summer. They said because he'll play the Euros with Mbappe, so his price tag will. So Muani is expected to start up front next summer in the Euros with Mbappe and with Nkunku, right?
So that brings his value up to 150.
So his valuation, if he smashes that tournament, they're going to say, okay, his valuation is going to be massive. But 150 is too much. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like 100 though.
It's insane. In terms of, I played with someone, so my value goes up by 50%. Like, what? What's that logic? Muani is the guy that I think has the most, has the highest ceiling, the hottest prospect for sure. French speaking, could end up having that blend with Nkunku. Could be the future of the French national team. It could work. Vlahovic, I think, is a guy that people expect to come in and get you immediate goals. But there's doubt because we don't quite know what he would fare like in the Premier League. And Martinez is that guy that people would know would perform in a front two.
Vlahovic is coming off the most striker. Out of all the strikers, he's coming with the lowest confidence, maybe because of the season he's had as well.
Exactly.
The other two are in a bit of form.
So there's pros and cons. Genuinely, I think we'll move for Martinez, who I would prefer. If we play in a front two, I can understand moving for Martinez. If we don't, then I would rather Kolo Muani.
Yeah.
What about you, Miz? Obviously, people are saying Muani's not a killer, which is fair enough.
I was talking about Kolo Muani straight after the World Cup because that was the first time I started seeing him. And I remember after the World Cup finished, I was tweeting quite a few times in regards to Kolo Muani because we were talking about getting a striker. For me, he's very mobile. Not only he can play from through the middle, but he can be quite flexible across the front three. His physicality, like he's just got an engine about him, man. Like he's robust. Like he'd fit in like a glove in the Premier League. That should not be a problem at all. I think some of the Premier League defenders would
he's the one that excites me the most. I can't lie.
He would. Some of the Premier League defenders would actually be worried because of his physicality and his pace and his robust nature that he has. He's in your face all the time. Yes, of course, he has the tendency of missing here and there, much like every other strikers.
Just like everybody else. Like I know
like
Martinez
everybody
has
else.
got 20 goals, but Martinez misses chances as well.
But I think Kolo Muani is one of the very few players last season that has got more than 10 goals and more than 10 assists. So you're not just getting a goal scorer, you're potentially getting someone who can create as well. So
6'2" as well. Maybe some heading ability can be worked on as well.
And of course, he's very strong aerially too, man. He's very strong aerially. So look, he's not your traditional player like Giroud. I know a lot of people are like, but Miz, what about hold up, link up, this? Like, he's not rubbish at it. But of course, he's not a Giroud. But you don't design your structure, your organization, having someone like Kolo Muani to play someone like as if you've got Giroud there. You'd have to change things up a little bit. It's got to be a lot more fluid and not long balls trying to get to him. So I like Kolo Muani a lot, man. But I think he's going to be probably Bayern Munich bound, man. I really do think Bayern are looking for a striker. So
yeah, people are saying he's
understand.
very similar to Jackson, which is probably fair.
Yeah, it is fair, but I think he's far more developed than Jackson. That's the thing. He's ahead of his development. Could Jackson one day get to that level? I hope so.
Could even do it this season. Like if he keeps going on his trajectory, Jackson. This is why I'm also not really that big on getting a striker in the first place. Because if Jackson just continues his momentum and his confidence and he keeps going, next season, if he's to get 15 goals, then next summer, are we going to be speaking about getting anyone unless they're Harry Kane? Or are we going to just say we may as well just stick with Jackson and keep working on Jackson, which is what the whole point is of buying someone at that fee. So for me, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, if you sign Jackson, if you're not going to start him, I don't really know why you signed Jackson in the first place. You could have just gone for someone else and just let Broya be on the bench. So last super chat here. How bad do we need Caicedo? Depends if we're willing to let Colwell go and how much we're willing to spend. This is why I'm trying to do Tchouaméni prop. Colwell can't go nowhere, and he certainly ain't going to Brighton. So if we're getting Caicedo, for me, it's money only. If they don't want to take money only, they want to try and involve Colwell, then we move on. We go and get someone else. That's how I see it. Colwell cannot go anywhere this summer, especially when Trevor could be leaving and Silva's probably in his last year. Younes, let the people know where to find you, bro. It's been a pleasure. What a show.
Yeah,
jam-packed.
Very, very jam-packed. Tons is happening. This is the situation. This is why the double uploads have kicked in for myself and for Miz, because it has to be done. So yeah, tons to cover. Thank you for all of this. Been a good show. And yeah, there'll be another double. Actually, double upload today, perhaps. Yes, perhaps a double upload. Maybe a very, very late one though. For the second one tonight, but normal one coming earlier on in the day, not too long after this. So keep your eyes peeled. Younes Talks Football.
There you go. Miz, let the people know where to find you, bro. Been a pleasure as always.
No, 100%, man. Top show once again. And thank you to both of you guys as well for making it such a fantastic show, as always. The other side of the coin, we just cracked 24,000. So thank you to everyone for that.
I love that. Bro, every time you hit a milestone, I just feel this overwhelming pride in my chest, bro.
Thank you.
25K soon come, man. Come on.
Yeah, let's go big, man. I want to try and get as close to 30,000 if we can. We're pushing hard, man. We're working hard, and now we're creating a very, very good community. So big up to each and every one of you guys.
Love that. Well, guys, listen, we're going to wrap up there. Make sure you smash up the like, subscribe to all the boys if you haven't already. Younes, you hit 100. When did you hit 150?
2 days ago.
And is that just normal for
that's not news. That's not news. Younes didn't even know until you said it. he lied about that answer. Yeah,
Younes has hit 150 fucking subscribe.
150
subs. 150k. Yes, the K is absolutely crucial here. 150k.
Younes got more subscribers than some of our players' earnings. So that's quite mad. Quite ridiculous.
It's funny. I just uploaded 2 days ago, and then I went through Studio and I saw it, and I was like, oh. It's funny. I turned to my dad. I was like, I've just hit 150. He's like, oh, congrats. I'm like, cheers. That was basically it. I think I had George. George sent me a comment as well. It's like, oh, 150k, congrats. I'm like, thank you, man. But yeah, no, the goal is 200. Yeah, the goal is 200. I've got eyes on 200. So I hear that.
You'll get that. I think Matisse will probably get either he'll get 100,000 in the coming season, or he'll get very close to it. So.
We must get 100 this season.
I think you will. I think you will.
I'm not going to allow us not to, because the amount of shit we're going to be doing is so much that we just have to hit. Like, we just have to. So that's the aim. I'm not going to lie. That's the aim. That's what we're aiming for.
You can top up your background with that.
Oh, that's all I need next season. End of next season. I need a trophy, Champions League qualification, and we get the plaque, and we finally get to that point where I can just say, wow, we've actually got it. So yeah, guys.
I'm a long way away, but for me, it's I'm not racing with you guys. You guys are unbelievable, man. I just enjoy being with you guys.
And Baba, I don't even know what somebody subscribes to.
I think he's gone beyond 200,000. He's taken over Asia.
What is Baba actually? Baba's on this.
He's
stupid amount.
He's Asian prince,
mad as well.
Baba's tapped into that Asian market beautifully. There's tons of bodies. There's tons.
Baba's on 174k. So
yeah, he'll get to 200 tomorrow.
Craziness, madness. Yeah, guys, listen, smash up the like, subscribe to all the boys. We will see you guys next week. Big up your damn selves. In a bit, people. Peace.